Come on, Jax. Get in the bloomin' tick, for goodness sake. And with that, I welcome you to the top of the shop in PlayStation World Online Racing. My name is Otaku Logan. I am joined tonight by... Wait, where's he gone?
I'm
Quinn's
here.
gone!
Tech 31.
You're not Quinn! Quinn's gone!
What? Yeah.
Our
He's
regular
gone.
commentator was Quinn, but apparently he's gone, so we've got this guy. What's your name, sir?
Tech 31 Racing, another Scottishman.
Yes. So we have two Scotsmen in the box, and, well, technically three if we have Ginger Andy, but that is for Sunday, and that won't even be at Emilia. That's just happened. I welcome you to PlayStation Tier 1 on WOR here at the legendary Emilia circuit, home of so many famous battles. As we are waiting for all the cars to come out to begin their laps, there they come. I do believe that is Santeri making his way. We should just let you know about the current standings for right now. Santeri, with that win at Belgium, got 25 points. Jensen on 18 and Morstrol on 15 with a podium there. Bolin in 4th, Tom in 5th. Tom is here tonight, I should just mention. Lynx, Jacopo, Marlon, Surface and Line Violet falling down the top 10. I think you can guess what the scores are now. And we are here with the second round now. Of course, there are 15 rounds of this season, so it's a long way to go yet, just early days. As we are getting ready for qualifying here. So I just get all the settings ready. So, Tech, a very interesting track, Emilia, one of the most famous ones in the sport, been around on the calendar for about 40 years, on and off. What do you say on it?
Good. A good real life circuit. On the game, not so much.
Well, that's your opinion, everyone has their own. As we are about to begin a lap with our championship leader Santeri, who's invalidated. That's not a good start, but he will get a chance to start and gear up across the line. DRS on as he comes around the long home straight, running in to the famous, or should I say infamous, Tamburello chicane, which was added in 1995 in the wake of the tragic loss of Ayrton Senna. At this very point, makes it through a left, right, left, and then going into this corner named after Villeneuve, that's Gilles Villeneuve, and then the hairpin of Tosa. Get a nice exit and you'll be on your way to Peratella, a little curve before Peratella, I should say. By the way, Tech, I can hear my voice over your microphone. Can you please adjust that as much as you can? Sorry. As we come through Acqua Milanari for Santeri now. And he makes his way past Bettesine. Not much of a disturbance there as he makes his way into the Variante Alta, a very tricky chicane. As he makes his way down now to the final section, which is called Rivasa, the final two corners of this outstanding track in the middle of Italy, which, despite that, hosted San Marino Grand Prix. It should be Emilia Romagna. That is the title of this video, and he sets the benchmark of 1:13.786. I'm sure that will fall down soon. And 1:14.123 for Surface. Betisai getting started on his lap now, as Line Violet crosses the line in a 1:15.289. Now I think that's Jensen coming around to complete his lap. Tom goes second with a 1:13.9.
Oh,
and
Jensen's on top.
Jensen on top with a 7:57. Welcome to, if you just joined us, 6 years in the chat. Surely that will rise up soon as Surface crosses at a 14.123. I do believe Lynx is coming around the final corner now. Yes, around with Vasta now nicely. 7 viewers, welcome to you as well. And goes 6th with a 14.765. Of course, this is just the first lap. Should be getting at most 3 laps. Rudy going 6th there. Rudy
Fleddy went 8th.
got 14th. Fleddy has went 8th.
Oh.
Fleddy also failed to score. Boland's gone 5th.
15 deals smaller there.
Dan Spreen coming across the line in 11th. Remember, the top 10 have to start on the tyre they used to set their fastest lap of the session. The others get a free choice. Only 15 drivers tonight, not sure what happened. Apparently Manchester United playing. Why would anyone want to watch that? Mate.
Oh.
I'm a Newcastle United fan. I
Takeover,
suffer enough. Takeover's not good enough. Anyway, Jacopo is on his out lap. I'm sure everyone else has done their lap. Betashai is the only one who invalidated. Surface has done 2 laps. Quite interestingly. Actually, he's doing another run. And this is his 3rd lap. Well, technically 4th, but if we're not... Yeah, half a tenth behind. But this is his 4th lap if you include his out lap. So he's going to be doing 5 laps. Because remember, he has to do an in lap. And... Sorry?
If he doesn't improve on his final run at the end, these tyres are going to be really not good. It's fuel lights flashing.
I'm not even checking the telemetry, but it gets in the way, the telemetry.
I'll have it on so the team can't see, and I can say if they're always invalidated anyway.
Well, thanks for that. I'm on board with Jacopo, who's just started his lap. He needs to get on the board eventually, or he'll be starting way down in the depths of unknown. As he makes his way to Tulsa now, braking at the 50-meter mark. Yes, we use meters here, not inches or feet, because we do not want to confuse our European viewers. Vengeance starting his lap now. Both drivers need to make a mark on this session, or...
Oh yeah. So, Fleddy improved on his 2nd run.
And he's on 2 lap olds softs as Vengeance is starting his lap. Jacopo coming through the Variante Alta. If that's not how you pronounce it, please correct me.
Purple sector 2 as well. We don't know if that's a game or that has actually done that. If he has,
yeah,
well
the game always does that for some reason. I don't know why. So just ignore that if you see it. Comes around the final corner nice and clean. And he will cross the line with a 1:14.316, putting him up for 6th. Vengeance looks like the only driver on a lap now, if we're not counting Jacopo, because everyone's either in the pits or on an out lap. 11 minutes to go in the session.
Middle sector was a little bit slower than Jacopo, so I think he's going to slot in at about 8th place, just ahead of Ludi, I would say.
As he approaches Vasa now, the final 2 corners. Nicely done. He's got 69 on his car. That means he's probably going to be very nice.
Everyone's coming back out again, but Bolin is just coming through the final corner now. Start his 2nd run.
Bolin for pole. Well, you could say. That's a word play on I think it's Bowling for Dollars, that old American game show. Yes, I like my American game shows. Everything else about it, don't ask. As Bolin comes through Villeneuve. Now for Tulsa.
610 up. That's not 610, 600.
Yeah, Tulsa's probably one of the trickiest sections because you've got to get the right amount of throttle and you've got to face it in the right direction as well. If you don't face it in the right direction, you might go off the track and go wide. Same could be said for the Piratella.
Same thing could say for Aquaminal Alley as well.
Ah yes, Aquaminal Alley. What a corner that is. Now for Variante Alta.
210 up. He's mastered that middle sector. Clobber the curbs into the chicane. Now coming into the VAT, so you'll want to look to perfect this corner. You go too wide, it'll be invalidated. He needs to get the brakes perfect and, you know, have that turn. He's hit the apex perfectly. Is he going to improve enough to go pole?
Let's see. Comes across the line, and it will be a 1:13.894. Good enough to be in 3rd. He has improved nearly 3 tenths from his first run. As we have some of the drivers still on a lap. I should check who. I think Lynx is... Yeah, he started a lap. Line Violet's also started a lap. I think it will be Santeri. Thank you very much. It's really hard to keep track.
He's 2 seconds down.
Understandable. So is Jensen. Where is Tom? He's invalidated. Surface coming through Aquamilanari now for Variante Alta. In the Haas.
He's 0.333.
Oh, brilliant. This could be pole position provisionally if he can get a good run out at Ravazza, the final two corners. Please ignore the yellow flag. That is probably because drivers are being gentlemanly. There is a gentleman's agreement in league racing. Well, except PSGL F1. And pole for Surface. Will anyone scratch the surface? That is the question.
Jax has gone 4th for 13.7. Ev, he's gone almost a second quicker as well.
Very good from Jax. Smalley is coming to the chicane.
He's up by 3/10.
But he's probably going to have to do more than that.
Almost like a second improvement if he wants to go pole. To be honest, you want to be like 11th here.
Yes, you do, especially with the strategies coming into play.
Oh, someone has spun.
Someone has spun. I think it might. It's Line Violet. It's Line Violet. The Korean driver has made a mistake, and as a result, that will be the end of his run there.
Jensen's coming through the Vatsa. Final corner now. Is he going to go pole? He was only 300s up. He's hit the bollard. Is he going to go pole? No, he's not. 700s between the two now.
700s. My goodness me. Give or take a few thousandths. Rudy 5th. Who's coming across the line? I think that is Surface. No, he's just come into the pits. Jack's coming into the pits. Betasai is invalidated.
Lynx is coming down the hill to the Vatsa now. He's a 10th up. So if he doesn't make a mistake into the Vatsa, he could have an improvement. Little lock up, you could hear from the brakes, the tyres squealing in pain. Can he get an improvement? The bollard isn't there, but he's going to get a line. 14-4, an improvement. I think only a couple positions though.
I'd just like to remind all the viewers at home, no, you do not get extra points for hitting the bollard. Now leave me alone, as, no, Jacopo, no. Then again, Max Verstappen would still win the title, and Jacopo goes up to 8th with that time there. I do believe the only driver that has not set a lap and is on a run is Vengeance, coming through Piratella right now. Then it will be Aquamilanari, very, very tricky section. If you make a mistake, you could overshoot and invalidate as a result. Something that doesn't happen, but probably ruin your run anyways. Approach Variante Alta chicane. Oh, brilliant exit from the Vengeance, trying to make a mark on this track. Vengeance wasn't here last week because he was a reserve. He is a reserve, I believe, for the other Alfa Romeo of Jake Marsh, who is unable to attend tonight. Vengeance making his way around the final corner. What can he do? No improvement. He is, well, actually is an improvement, but he is in 14th. Dan Spreen.
Only on a lap. I think
at the bottom.
Gone a bit early. But his final run.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go in the session.
Yeah. Maybe he's double running. Enough feeling for 2 runs. You can double run around here. The tyres don't wear out much.
Yes, you can. Especially if you're on inters. Wait, you always do that anyway. Oh, very close for Dan Spreen. He nearly cut the corner, but he's all A-OK. 4 attempts. That will probably need a bit more improvement if he's going above Vengeance and possibly Smalley for that matter of fact, as he comes down approaching Ravazza now.
I think he's clobbered that inside curve a bit too much at the Vatsa.
That will cost him a bit of time.
Yeah, he's still improved just enough to beat Vengeance, but not enough to get ahead of Smalley. And
now there is a lull in the action with 4 minutes to go. Everyone preparing. Thank you. Jax is about to begin. As you may have heard faintly over my voice. Making his way through the Tamborello chicane. Used to be flat out, of course, until 1994. This track was last updated in 2007, just after they held the last San Marino Grand Prix, a name that I totally hate because A, it's not in San Marino, and B, San Marino is probably not big enough to hold its own Grand Prix anyway.
Hey, Mazzano.
Mazzano, that's in Italy as well.
That's called the San Marino Grand Prix, so...
In MotoGP. No, they did have the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix in 2020 there as well, because they had 2 races there. It's right next to Mermini, and Jax has invalidated, unfortunately. That would be the end of his chance. He may have another shot, though, if he can get into the pits and put some... Actually, has he put all 4 sets on? We've only got 3 viewers here. Yeah, everyone is watching the Manchester United game.
Yeah, but at the moment, Shazoo Thompson has started his lap. Coming to Villeneuve. Is he going to break? He's taking a little break. He's invalidated. Just maybe a little bit understeer coming in. He's got enough time to maybe just like back out, save the tyres and go for a second run. Everyone's not coming out.
Everyone's coming out now.
Invalidated. I think he's invalidated. Don't know where, but I looked at him at Aquamilla Alley, but I think he's invalidated someone else. But Surface has started the lap. The provisional pole at the moment. Is he going to keep it? We don't know. We'll see next time. On that, I'm just kidding. But you know. Coming to the Tamburello chicane, nicely hitting those curbs. It's flat on the exit. Coming into Villeneuve. Hopefully he gets a good enough run to keep improve. Tap, little break, another little break. Goes perfectly. Is he improving? He's only down by 200. Coming into Tulsa. Doing very well. I don't know every single name of the corner, so coming into this left-hander.
I've got you covered, buddy. That's Peratella right there. Oh, just makes it. That was nearly an invalidation. If we had Hawkeye, we'd probably have a closer look, but that's the wrong spot. Oh dear, and that'll be the end of his run. He'll have to go again. He will have to go again, or if he wants to, that is.
Jens is just ahead of him, by the way, and he's a 1/10.5 up.
Oh boy. He might have to go again.
Jensen could be on pole at the moment. Is Jensen going to be positional pole? Gets a good run now coming out the final.
It is pole!
Jensen's back now. Jensen's feeling the pressure now.
Yes, indeed, sir. We have Fleddy coming around the final corner, and he's going to cross the line with a time. Actually, he'll have to go again. That is definitely not a flat-out run. And oh, Tom has crashed out of Aquamilla Alley.
Dantelli's gone
there
fourth.
It is. No, he's not crashed. No, he's not crashed. He's stopped on the side of the road. I'm not sure if that's allowed, but I guess it doesn't interfere anyone's run, so it may not be against the rules. Jacopo is invalidated. He'll have to go again. He will cross the line with 15 seconds in hand. Betisai now.
Surface is doing worse again.
Santeri has crashed as well. I'm not sure if that is a crash. As Jax starts his final lap.
I think it is a crash. His wheel has came off.
Oh dear. It is a crash. Vengeance trying to approve, but he comes into the pits. Now, how's Jensen doing? Is he... No, he's not setting a lap. Surface needs a perfect run, and he's not. He's invalidated. That's his gambit over. Ballin has pulled in. Jax has invalidated. What about Jacopo? What's he doing?
I think he's on a run. Gonna have to be a mega lap if he wants pole.
He's caught the macromedullary.
Yeah, he's backed out. I think he knew that should have been an invalidation, but look at the traffic that Line Violet's gonna have.
Line Violet's actually had the checkered flag, so he's not doing any more runs.
I'm blind.
No, you're not. It's easy to miss. And Smalley goes 11th. That's actually a good position. Everyone's retiring. I think this session's over.
Yeah.
And with that...
Jensen is on pole.
Yep, Jensen is on pole.
We actually don't know what the weather is for the race.
We don't know. That's actually pretty good. I don't mean to say this on stream, but you sometimes you speak over the top of me. I know it's not intentional, but yes, please. It's very... let's just say it's not the best idea. Anyway, enough scolding my fellow commentator, and we go. Don't worry, we value your service here. Don't you worry.
Yes.
Betisai needs to retire, please. That'd be very nice. Thank you very much. And let's see the results. I think I'll let that go to you, Mr. Tech31.
Okay. Sorry if I mispronounced anyone's names.
I'll correct you.
But the man on pole, Shizu Jensen, with a 13.560, with WR Surface on the front row with him, and then Lude on the second row starting it, with Bol and his Dutch compatriot, then Santelli, then Jax, Tom, Jacopo, Betazai, Line Violet, Smalley, Fleddy, Linked, Dan Spleen, and Vengeance, completing the grid for the I'm not saying that name, but Emilia Grand Prix.
Emilia Romagna Grand Prix.
Yes, thank you.
And it's not a Grand Prix because it's 50% distance. I hate it when you use that. I know what they're trying to do, but, you know, a Grand Prix distance is 305 kilometers, and that's an actual fact. A PSG, this is WOR, PSGL or WR, anyways, because we're good mates here. All fair and love and war in league racing.
Buddies.
Yes. The Grand Prix is apparently 50%. I would like to see a bit of sprint if they ever had a chance. Anyway. Oh, it's doom and gloom. It is doom and gloom. It could be raining. Actually, is it raining?
No, it's just dark.
It's just dark.
We could hear challenges though. If you guys watch the challenges, either on Wednesday, the PlayStation side. Oofed.
Yes. Remember, I think it was so horrible how Gil went out.
Oh,
Gil
I don't
got
know why
robbed.
Schumacher hasn't got a race ban for that.
I'd just kick him out. I bet you it's... Who's Schumacher won again? I forgot. Is it wait, is it Valentin Prefer?
No, I think it's like Marcel or something.
No, that's Faster Racer, isn't it? I don't know.
I think it's like Marcel or something. But yeah. He's only got in there because he just sweats the event.
Yeah,
but
I apologise, Prefer.
Everyone there is amazing F1 drivers, but there is some people, you know, that didn't get in there that deserves to be there.
Yes.
Like, there's some PSGL F1 drivers like Ismail and like other people who have not gotten there, who deserve to, who has the pace to get in challenges.
Alright.
Let's not focus on challenge, we focus on WOR Tier 1.
The good thing about challengers on PS4 and Xbox is you don't have to download F1 cheats.
Yes. Leo.
Right, that's enough. Jensen is leading the field away through the first few corners. As you can see, we have only 3 drivers on the mediums out of the 5. The Fleddy and Lynx Ferrari Master Plan are starting on the softs. That's not the plan. That's something. That's the last thing Ferrari want is a Spinella.
Yes, they want to be good, like they did this year in real life. Fleddy and Lynx, they want to do well in this race.
And it better be because they're at home. Well, technically.
Yeah.
They consider both Italian tracks their homes.
Technically, Alpha Tauri are at their home as well. So Jacopo.
Yes. Yet they won in Monza instead.
Oh. Yes. Can Jacopo win at his home?
Oh yes, of course. All honesty,
it's his home Grand Prix. Sorry for interrupting you. And it's his home Grand Prix as well.
Yeah. Thank. I've lost my job. I'm
panicking.
Please, we've been in the commentary box before, and you've caused more insanity than Darrell Waltrip. At least you'll not be saying buggity 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 let's go racing boys, because that's my job, and I don't even say it that way anyway. As Jensen and Surface, what are you doing? This is not the time to do it. Oh, that's just ghosted cars. As they make their way to the grid to begin this crazy affair around Imola. I don't know how it's going to end.
I don't know, but as they're lining up, what's your predictions for this race, Logan?
I have absolutely no clue. We could see Santeri climb up into the order. I know he's capable of some moves, but this is anyone's game at the top 6. We've got a stacked grid, as we are about to get racing here in Imola. Here come the lights. And let it rip in Imola. We're underway, and Jensen has a fantastic start. Surface left in the dust, and now Bowen and Rudy going side by side, going in to Tamburello corner. Who is going to get the upper hand? Going into out of turn number 3 is a bit of action going behind. Still, Jensen leads ahead of Surface and Bowen, who's just got past Rudy, and then Santeri in 5th. A little gap between Santeri and Tom, but Tom is catching up though. No mistakes at the moment as they make their way around Tulsa. It's still Jensen that leads the way as Betisai makes a move on Fleddy for 10th. The Lion Violet's fallen all the way down to plumb last behind his teammate. The worst start imaginable for the Korean driver. As they make their way around Aquamilari, it's Jensen now 7 tenths ahead of Surface as Santeri tries to look for a move on Santeri, and it looks like it started to rain, as you may have heard faintly from Tech 31. I can see a few rain droplets. Yeah, it is starting to rain. So the strategies are going to go all to pot, and we're going to be putting on the intermediates if it continues like this. Santeri right behind Rudy as they come around to complete the first tour of this circuit.
Yeah, I think the people on the mediums have made the wrong choice. They maybe thought it was going to be a lot longer than, you know, instantly on to starting the second lap. They'll be like maybe 10-15 minutes in.
Yeah.
No, lap 2 started.
Oh, and Jax and Tom having a little battle through Tamburello, and Jax, the one that come out ahead, as now they approach Villeneuve, and it's Jax that runs clear, but he's now 9 tenths behind Santeri as part of that squabble. Jacopo in 8th, trying to chase down Tom. He's 4 tenths behind. He wants to make a mark if he's to do it for his home country and the home team. Well, it is the home team, it is Imola. Apparently it's just right next door, but Santeri here in the Williams, definitely not a home team, of course, as we know they're all British, as he's trying to find a way past Rudy, very close from about 3 tenths, goes a little wide out of Variante Alter, but he's going to try and make a move when he finishes up at Ravazza. No DRS disabled though, so no indications that there is going to be some tyre changes early on as they make their way to start lap number 3. Jensen setting the fastest lap again, but that's no surprise. This is the second lap. First lap, you're not going to be going that fast. Will Santeri make a move on Rudy? DRS enabled, not disabled, so we'll have to see what happens in the coming laps. It doesn't seem to have worsened anymore. Just a few little drizzle across the track, Tech.
Yeah, just a little drizzle, I think. It's definitely getting heavier, as you can see. Oh, Betisai's made a little wobble through Villeneuve, and he's lost a lot of positions because of it.
But he's avoided a barrier, and he's been clipped by Dan Spreen. I'm not sure if he could avoid that, but I think that's Betisai's fault again. So, as a punishment, he has fallen right down to the back. This has just not been the start he's wanted, and those tyres are going to be hot cross buns before he gets into the pit lane. I'm not sure he has damage. I don't think he has damage. Maybe, hopefully not on the barge boards, because that cannot be fixed. Santeri, we are on board with right now, just 2 tenths behind Rudy. We saw him hounding him over the first 2 laps. He wants to get past ASAP. He will have the DRS because it is not disabled yet. I'm not sure if Rudy's going to have it. He's about 1 second behind. I think he's just about going to have it. No, he's not. He's not. And Santeri's going to get the jump on Rudy, coming down towards Tamburello. And he makes the move well before Tamburello and goes up into 4th.
Yeah, it was a good move. I think just coming out the final corner, Rudy, just coming onto the DRS protection, he gave a little weave to Santeri, saying he's not gonna, defend it harshly, as he knows he's not the DRS and Santeri does. There's literally no point, and I think he has a plan. I think he's gonna have Santeri maybe drag him along, back up to Bolin, Surf, and Jensen. So yeah, it's just a plan for Rudy just to sit behind him now.
Meanwhile, off camera, the Alfa Romeos have switched positions and Rudy's gone wide. Rudy is really struggling in these conditions, and now Jack is going to try and find a way past Rudy, just as Santeri did, just as this lap began. And he's right next to him as they approach Variante Alter, but no moves are going to be made. It's a good idea, in my opinion, because, you know, you've got that long straight ahead of you, and you've got a lot of time to do it, especially with the rain still falling down. You know, it's not that bad yet. Just see what your tyres are doing on this track, because, you know, in a few laps it's going to be a much different story. Here's Jack's chance to strike while the iron's hot, and he's going to make the move instantly. Rudy has no answer to Jack's move, and now, it's going to get even worse for Rudy. Tom is passed into 6th now, so Rudy has already lost 4 positions since the start of this race. He lost one to Bolin, he lost one to Santeri, he lost one to Jack, and now he's lost one to Tom.
Yep. At the moment, the Ferraris are going well from like 12th and 13th to up to 9th and 10th. Oh, linked a bit of understeer coming to the right of Villeneuve, but he's still right behind his teammate. I think if those two want to, you know, push it a bit more, they're going to have to get past Jacopo. But Jensen's still leading.
Yeah, Ferrari master plan not all going to plan yet. I think they've only made 1 or 2 positions. Maybe they wanted more, but of course the pit stops are yet to come. That could all change as the leading pack come towards Variante for the 5th time in racing conditions. It is still the top 4, and Santeri had a bit of a slide out of the Variante Alto, but it doesn't look like he's lost much time. In fact, he's closer to anyone else in that leading pack. 3 tenths behind Bolin, but looks like the 2 drivers in front of him are going to get the DRS once they come around Ravata one more time. And now, who is going to have the guts to make a move? It looks like Surface is in the prime position. He's approaching Jensen. Jensen has to move aside, and on the outside, Surface will take the lead of this Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Even though I said it wasn't a Grand Prix, what's happened? Bollins went wide, and now he's at risk of losing a position to Santeri, who's already made his way past Rudy, and Rudy's out of the race.
Yeah.
Rudy's out of the race. He's crashed out of Tamburello. It's a safety car. This could be an opportunity, Tech, for all the drivers to come in for intermediates before it gets worse. But actually, it looks like the weather's improving, I think.
Yeah, it does look like it, but you never know what could happen. Definitely looks like it's brightening, but it still looks like the rain is falling down.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see, because we don't hear the team radios that the engineers give, which I wish they did, but, you know, it would be a bit evasive, and, you know, this GDPR malarkey, and people will complain about red tape stuff, etc. Unfortunately, it's to protect the people. But enough about EU laws and stuff. That's for another time. What is Surface going to do? Well, the indication is going to be, what is Surface going to do? He's packing them up. I'm not sure. Looks like he's slowed down. No, he's not. Pitted. Jensen's went in. Jensen thinks it's going to get worse. I think he thinks it's going to get bad enough. And Tom's in as well, so there'll be double stacking, I think. It's not much of a loss. You see that because there was an update recently, and Line Violet's got a penalty for speeding the pit lane, his day goes from bad to worse. 5 drivers in the pits for intermediates, presumably. Actually, no, Jacopo thinks he's not going to get worse. He's had a wing change, I think. No, he's not had a wing change. Actually, did he? But he has switched to mediums, and so has Line Violet as well. As I was going to say... Oh, darn, what was I going to say? They had an update recently which reduces the time lost when you're double stacking. So Tom hasn't actually lost much. He's actually still behind Jensen. So it is not all doom and gloom yet. Actually, it's probably the perfect situation. So it's Surface that leads ahead of Bolin, Santeri and Yax, with Fleddy behind in 5th. The top 8 drivers have opted to stay out.
Yeah, maybe they think it is just gonna stay like this. It won't get wet until like right at the end. You never know what could happen.
And if it does, it is a pot of gold coming to the top 5 drivers' way, because they're on the softs, and you know they'll have a normal pit stop.
Yeah. But we'll see what the top 8 do this lap. Maybe they were waiting one more lap to see what Jensen would do, and if they saw Jensen pit, they would be like, maybe we'll wait a lap longer.
Well, we will be doing one more lap behind the safety car, as the whole pack has not caught up yet, so there is still an opportunity for drivers to pit. Doesn't look like no one is. Now, you know what? I'm not surprised.
We'll see if the mediums guy pit though. See if Jack know.
No, I think they might know. They might know that it's not going to get worse. As you can see, it's going to be very interesting to see how Jensen, Tom, and Lynx handle this, because actually, rain hasn't stopped, but it isn't showing any signs of the track deteriorating in condition. It doesn't look like an ideal situation if you're the Aston Martins.
The rain has got worse, but not worse enough that it enters weather.
Meanwhile, my camera runs into a tree, and it's going to take forever to get it out. As we have the Mercedes safety car in red, which is quite weird. I think it should be silver, or actually no, well, it's not going to be black next to
it. I think we could have the green Aston Martin.
Green Aston Martin, or the blue Alpine. They have Alpine luxury cars. It's the luxury brand of Renault.
Yep. But if it comes in this lap, Jensen, if it gets wet enough, he's gonna have to make up positions.
I'm now imagining a Ferrari safety car. It would definitely speed the bunch up.
Yep. Well, the Mercedes would as well, but you know.
Alfa Romeo would be better. Safety car in this lap, as Surface will have the unfortunate job of having to get these motley crew away again. And he's going to have to set the pace. Remember, he can't slow down. He's going to have to keep the pace, and he's got to put the throttle on before he reaches the control line. You can see all weaving. They're daring to get any temperature. Oh, it's going to be difficult, especially in the changing conditions. Who is going to have the best run out of the corner? Is it stopped raining? Or is it still raining? He's gone. He's gone. Yeah, it's still raining. It's still raining as Surface gets underway. But his first plan of action is to try and run away from Ball. And oh, there's a lot of weaving there. No, they are still trying to warm their tyres up even as they're racing as they approach Tamburello for the first time since the restart. It's Surface, Ball and Santeri and Jax with Fleddy behind. And then you've got the medium runners. How are the intermediate runners? It looks like Jensen's wasting no time getting to work and overtakes Vengeance for 8th place.
It's wet enough now, lane lights are on.
Oh, the rain lights are on, okay.
Okay, no, it's just for the enters runners. The dry people don't have their lane lights on.
Ah, fair enough. Maybe it's I think it's the ERS, the energy deployment does that. Tom's got past Vengeance fallen down the order at rapid pace. Now Santeri right behind Ball as they come for Aquamilanari. I pronounced it wrong again, and Santeri really struggling now. Now, how are the others doing? Jax should be trying to get past Santeri ASAP as they make their way through Variante Altar. Now, question is, how is Surface handling these conditions? The surface has got slippery indeed. Or has it?
I can say Jensen isn't catching up. I think the guys are just still quicker by a little bit. I think the guys are still quicker at the moment.
Well, Surface set at 21.6. Jensen, well, he will be slower because, of course, you know.
4.9.
Actually, he might not be slower. I'm not sure.
Jacopo,
as Tom has got passed by Jacopo, so a bit of a switcheroo going on there down the back as Jax tries to find a way past Santeri after his misfortune at Aquamilanari. I still can't pronounce that name, but I know I can pronounce Tosa correctly as the rain keeps coming down here at Emilia Romagna, a lovely region of Italy. You know, this track actually hosted the UCI World Track Cycling Championships. Yep. World Road Cycling Championships, not track cycling. That would be a 250 metre velodrome.
I watched that race and I wanted, you know, someone else instead of Julian Alaphilippe to win it, but, you know.
Okay. The two Alfa Romeos doing a bit of a dance. Very interesting. As you can see, yes, Jensen's falling 3 seconds behind Dan Spreen. They're probably still grippier than the intermediates, the dry tyres, as they come through Ravazza once again.
There is now damp spots on the circuit out the final corner.
Yeah, there is. I think they'll have to consider making a stop soon. DRS enabled. I don't think it will be for long.
Yeah, he's still. I think Jacobs has to get past Jensen this lap.
Vengeance's pit. Is he going to change his tyres? Has he had damage? That's the question. Let's see as he comes into the pits for his stop.
Enters.
It enters. He knows. He knows it's coming. Although Jensen is still falling down in terms of the gap, it's not falling down at all. It's actually going the inverse as Jacopo tries to move out the outside, but is cut off by Jensen. Surface, by the way. Yeah, it's getting much worse. I think Surface has to consider pitting. It's a slippery surface, quite literally, even though he has a 1.6 second lead over the nearest rival, Bolin. It's a judgment day. Are they going to come in? Do they think it's damp enough? Let's see how Jensen is handling, and Dan Spreen gets a track limits warning. Penalty, I should say, actually. Line violet, the only other driver penalty. That's for speeding in the pit lane. Is Surface going to pit now? No! He's staying out again! Staying out again. All the drivers at the top 5 on softs staying out. Smalley thinks better of it, and so does Dan Spreen. They're pitting.
Yeah. Jensen was. I put it on leader gap, and Jensen was catching up with Jacopo, so there's no way he's not going to get past, and yet easy move for Jacopo. Up to 6 now.
Yep, now Jacopo is 10 seconds behind the leader.
Lane lights are now on for every single driver. So, it's now wet enough for lane lights, but is it wet enough for DRS disabled? No.
Not yet, we'll have to see. As you can see, we've got the lap data on. This is so I can check what times drivers are setting. Or if you can go into race control, that would probably be more ideal tech, because I'd be waiting for ages to see what's going on. Jensen still behind Jacopo. This could cost him time. Fleddy getting a track limits penalty as well. 3 strikes and you're out on the board of negligence when it comes to track limits, as the gap is now half a tenth between Santeri and Jax. Yep. Santeri, our championship leader, trying to get another 25 points today. He's got 15 right now, just need that extra 10. As once again, Surface opts to stay out. But Fleddy thinks better, and he's coming into the pits now. He's going to be the first of the top 5, in fact, the back of the top 5. He's going to make the stop right here, right now. And Jensen is right behind Jacopo, and he has the DRS still, makes it through, and into 5th. I was going to say 6th, but he's just got ahead of Fleddy, who's pitted. Blind Violet gets another penalty. It is not his day. Jacopo, the only medium tyre runner yet to pit, as they both go wide at Villeneuve, both Jensen and Jacopo, both struggling, and Jensen actually is still 6.5 seconds behind Jax. I don't think the top 4 are seeing much different, as Bolin gets a penalty, and my goodness me, has a bit of a slidey moment there before Acrominerali. Acrominerali, there we go. The gap now between the top 2 is 2.6 seconds. Surface is absolutely flying. He's on another level as the surface gets even worse. By that I mean the track surface. DRS disabled, there we go. There is the warning shot from the stewards.
Will Surface pit though?
Yes. Yeah. They're all coming in.
Oh,
whoa!
Drax hits entirely.
I hope that's not damage, or that's going to cost him a lot of time. Jacopo opting to stay out. He's the only dry tyre runner left, as they try and make a move on Jensen. Jensen now... No, it's Tom actually. Tom takes 2nd place. I thought it was Jensen there because he's been scrabbling with them.
Yeah. my game had a bit of a bug, and I thought Jax jumped entirely, but no, he didn't.
Yeah, the unsafe pit release is on, so they wouldn't collide, etc. Oh, they're going to come out right in front of Fleddy. No, Fleddy's got past. Is he going to get past Centauri? No, he has to back out. He has passed Jax for 9th place. You can see the view of the frustrated Jax, the McLaren driver who won from the last on the grid in Belgium last season. Not last week, last season. He is now stuck in the middle with Fleddy, Smalley and Centauri, and there's so much battling going on there. And Jax is in the middle of it. Jax trying to make a move on Fleddy, who went on the outside but has to stay behind Fleddy for now. Coming down to Pilatella. It's still Fleddy ahead of Jax and Smalley. Now at Cremillari, this is where time can be won or lost, especially if you go over those curbs and have to cut the corner. A track limits warning incoming as well. Making now to Variante Alta. All trying to catch up to not just Centauri but Bolin as well. Surface now 10 seconds behind Betashy. Surface did lead the race, but of course the pit stops have changed everything, and Jacopo battling with Lynx coming into Tamburello. It's Lynx that has the edge, and Jacopo still on the medium tyres. I've got to give it to him. He's got some guts to stay out on those tyres.
Yeah, Surface is making some ground. He was like 22 when he came out. He gained 4 seconds last lap. Can he do it again this lap? But yeah, Jensen, just cruising now, but you know. Obviously Jacopo still on the mediums, but is he going to pit? Or does he think it's going to get dry again?
That would be interesting. Oh, he's struggling now. Yeah, I think he might have to pit. He's losing time. He's losing a lot of time. He is 3 seconds behind Betasy. Surface is going to be coming from any time soon. It doesn't mean to be many clear close battles, except Fleddy and Jax perhaps. I should mention Jensen and Tom, the two Aston Martin drivers, have got this spot on, and Fleddy has had to cut the corner as Line Violet has retired in the pit lane. He's had enough. It's just not been his day as the Korean driver. As now Jax is right behind Fleddy out of Variante Alta. Is there going to be a move before Ravazza? It would be crazy if this happened. He's going to go for the move on the inside. Move for the inside. And he's got it. Fantastic move. Fantastic from Jax, showing his mettle as Jacopo finally pits.
But Fleddy's going to come back at him maybe into turn 1, but yeah,
no DRS.
Brilliant move. Yeah. Outside maybe. Is he going to send it? No.
No, he thinks better if it stays put. Try and get him on the next lap perhaps, or maybe try and get a revenge move at Ravazza.
No. But that was a great move from Jax. Had a little bit of contact and Jax got him.
He's got a penalty as you say that.
Commentator's curse.
I do not believe in the commentator's curse, thank you very much. Smalley also joining in the battle. Yeah, whatever. The commentator's curse has meant that Jax has got a penalty, and Smalley now in that battle too. Fleddy starting to lose ground by the looks of it, but even though Smalley is on used tyres, but he's probably broken them in more than Fleddy has because he's been on them one tyre more. Meanwhile, Jensen has a 4-second lead over Tom, who since the safety car has been lost in a lot of ground. Remember, Jensen is one of the top drivers on PlayStation, so it wouldn't surprise me if you just try to run away with it. Remember, this is also for the championship lead, should he get this win. And Centauri has a penalty as well. Centauri down in 7th. He got a penalty for, I believe, going wide at Ravazza as they make their way through.
The only person without a pen behind Bolin is Smalley.
And Jacopo as well.
But Jacopo's like, 16 seconds behind.
Yes, but of course that's because he's just pit. He tried to stay on as long as he could, but it didn't work out.
It was unlucky for him, but Surface has made a lot of ground now. He's about... he's only 17 now, so... It looks like he'll get P2 unless there's like a safety car, but... Looking unlikely. You never know what could happen.
Yes, this Racing is predictable. It can be predictable, unpredictable at times, especially when there's a safety car. That turns the whole race on its head, but you and I know that too darn well. We are now about halfway through the race as Betasai is chasing down Lynx. This for a podium position as we speak. I do believe the intermediates should be making their way to the end. If I'm not mistaken. Of course, I've done those kind of races where I went from start to finish without changing the tyres if it's wet. It can be done. It is allowed to be done because there are no rules against changing tyres if you are on wets.
Yes. You can do zero stop, but
you can't because it's start dry.
Happening. Low, but yeah, Betasai is on Lynx right now. He hasn't got close enough for the move, but he's been in the window of maybe trying to, you know, push to catch him, but he just, you know, hasn't had that traction on the exits.
Yeah,
it looks better in the sky.
Yeah, the traction out of the corner can really help you, and it will help you if you're trying to make a move, especially it could help you make a move on the next corner, which has been done. It has proven a lot, especially out of Variante Alta and into Rivasa. It's always a prime opportunity to get capitalise on your opponent's mistakes, as Santeri coming out of Acqua Minerale about 3/4 of a second behind Bolin. Bolin of course had a bit of an incident with, I think it was, I cannot remember who it was, but I think it was Modistrol, but he made his way back to 4th. He is now in 6th behind Santeri. Santeri's gained a lot of ground. They're both on the same tyres, but probably on a different setup. If you see it, that's probably the difference. Maybe they have different downforce settings, and that could always be the difference, especially on a track with a long straight, but a lot of fast technical sections as well. But it looks like the gap has remained the same as they come into Tamburello once more.
Yeah. Obviously, everyone's using a lot of ERS, but like, you don't need to use much ERS in the wet, because, you know, there's not, obviously the DRS is gone, so you do have to use your ERS more, but like, you just don't need to use it, because, you know, you're going to be slower down the straight because of the wet.
Yeah, and speaking of ERS, Santeri's out of it. He's nearly empty, and Bolin's got about half the tank, more than half the tank in his battery, so he has a bit of an edge over Santeri. Meanwhile, Betasai still just around 1 second behind Lynx. He needs to stay behind the gearbox of that Ferrari, and he goes wide. That ain't going to do him any favours. The gap now extends once again. Oh, what happened?
He just picks really late into the chicane. He almost hit Bolin.
Sorry, I missed that.
Is it Daniel Ricciardo-esque braking? Like,
my goodness me. As Smalley right next to Fleddy, well, I should say right behind Fleddy. No move made there. Now, what is Santeri going to do out of Rivasa and across the finish line once again?
He doesn't have the ERS to catch him, but if he
course.
just gets a perfect exit out over the Vata, he would get him into Tamburello. Just doesn't get it.
Yeah, both Smalley and Santeri on pretty much empty batteries, and a slide from Smalley there as we talk about him, but Betasai's behind Lynx again, and a bit of a slide out of Tulsa. Betasai has more energy in his battery than Lynx does, and he's just wasting it as he tries to run away like the gingerbread man would.
Yeah, if you look behind on Betasai's camera, you can see Surface just in the battle.
Betasai is a penalty. It didn't look like a penalty to me, but oh well.
No, but if you look in the background, you can just see Surface. No. So
yes.
Surface is catching them.
Surface, of course, the leading driver in terms of pit stops after the safety car. And he's proven that the safety car coming in and them not pitting means absolutely nothing, because of course you lose a lot of time if the safety car is coming in, because you know all the drivers will be bunched up again, and when you have to make that pit stop they're all just going to be storming by you, so that's why you pit during the safety car when it comes out. But now he is just around 2 seconds behind Betisai, who's 3/4 of a second behind Lynx for third position. 12 laps to go. It's the Aston Martins that are putting out a James Bond style performance. Number 1 and number 2. Performance Daniel Craig would probably be very proud of.
Yep. At the moment, they are just flying away with it. At the moment, Surface is now 1.5 seconds. And he's going to have the most ERS out of the 3 of them. Santelli.
5 miles.
Santelli now. Are you looking for the move? Jax is now in the 3 as well. Could we see a 3-way battle for 6?
That'd be spicy, very spicy, especially even though it is for 6. It's still, you know, crucial championship points. You get 8 points if you finish in 6th, 4 if you finish in 8th, 6 if you finish in 7th. As now they're right next to each other, as you can see, coming out of the Variante Alta, and now Santeri. Santeri is about 3 tenths. He could try and move on Ballin after these final few corners.
And you see the exit. I think Santelli's got the mindset of fast in and, you know, just not getting the traction. I always take it going nice and calm on the exit and trying to get as much speed as I can onto the exit.
Yeah.
You don't want to discover too much speed on the entry, then you're not going to get me. I think he's got him maybe into Villeneuve now. He has a good exit out of Tamburello. I don't think he's close enough. He could get into Tulsa though, maybe if he's get the Daniel Ricciardo brakes on. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. So Ballin's still ahead of Santeri as we speak, but now Yax is closer to Santeri as we speak, and now Santeri using his energy once again by the looks of it, but well, anything he has left in that battery as Ballin tries to conserve it by the looks of it. Yax has got a bit of an empty tank, but Ballin's got a penalty. That ain't going to help at all. Should check the penalties. Might as well put the penalties on, as now Santeri's right behind him. He's going to go for a move in Variante Alta. What a gutsy move this is. They're bashing and bashing, and now this is only going to help Yax. Santeri has to go wide, and now Jax is going to try and capitalise on this massive squabble. He's right behind Ballin as they go. It's going to be free wide. Is it? No, it's not free wide. I thought it was free wide for a second. Now it's free wide. Oh, no! Oh, it's a disaster! And Jax and Ballin have only themselves to blame. They got too cocky, and Santeri has managed to avoid the chaos and into 6th place. My goodness me, that could have ended in tragedy.
All 3 of them. Obviously, I feel like to be respectful, Santeri, obviously there's nothing can do, but you know, maybe just to be a bit respectful, might, like, you know, slow down for them both and they can, you know, forget about it, but I don't know if he would do that.
Yeah, it's we're going to have to probably look at that in the steward's office. It was a very unorthodox place to overtake. While as I speak, Surface is trying to make a move on Betisai, who is 2 tenths in front, as now they approach the Acrominerale. Both good drivers in PSGL as well, I think. I'm sure Betisai is in the league I commentate on in PSGL, and I'm sure there are some others as well. I think Dan Spreen might be one of them. Correct me if I'm wrong. I try to keep tabs of them both in conjunction, as now Surface is he going to try and make a move? No, he's not. He's going to wait until after the final corner. Go on.
He definitely has enough ELS to do it.
Oh yeah.
He's got more than, well, before he started using, he had more than combined the 2 other guys ahead of him.
And here he goes. And he's through. Yeah. He had about 60% of ERS when he made the move, and now up into 4th goes WOR's very own Surface. Yes, our esports team, of course. Sorry to plug that, but we have every right to. This is WOR after all. As the lead is now 15.5 seconds between Ferrari's Lynx and Aston's Jensen. Tom's got to just keep him at bay, and I don't think you'll have to worry about that, because the gap between the 2 is 11.3 seconds. So, and it's increasing by the second, as you can see. Tom is now 4.7 behind. Now Lynx is 16 seconds behind Jensen. It's pretty much all trivial now. You might as well try and defend from surface as much as you can, or force him into making a mistake. Lynx now under the cosh against the surface. Don't scratch the surface now, that would be a bad move. Coming through the final two corners where, of course, we just saw Santeri, Bolin, and I think it was Yax have a collision, but as you can see, they're actually caught back up again. Now, I'm not sure if Santeri has fallen behind. Did he have a mistake as well? But by the looks of it, it looks like it's all went back. As Surface, meanwhile, he's going for a move on Lynx, but he decides to back out at the last second, and that gave Lynx a bit of a surprise. Has he gone wide there, as you just said?
Yep. Is he going to go for the into Villeneuve? I don't think he's close enough. Oh, they both... Surface have a bit of understeer on the second part of Villeneuve. Coming into Tulsa. Good entry and better exit. Oh, retirement.
Vengeance is in the pits. Vengeance is retiring the pits. 12 drivers remain. 2 drivers that are still in the race are not going to get any points, and I completely forgot what lap this is. Lap 25. There's 7.5 laps to go by my calculations, so the gap now between Lynx and Tom is 13 seconds. It's all falling apart for anyone that's not in a green car. And no, I'm not counting Mercedes, that's black, even though it's got it looks green, a green tag on. Yeah. Actually, hold on a minute. Hold on. Oh no, that's right. I thought I had the teams wrong for a second, but no, I did. I thought I had the Aston Martins and Mercedes mixed up. I was about to say, wait. But yes, they are both full-time Aston Martin drivers, so they'll get full credit in the Constructors' Championship should they finish first and second. But meanwhile, Surface getting up close to Lynx once more. But no, runs out of runway and has to yield for now. And Betasai now getting much closer. Jax has caught up to Bolin, who's caught up to Santeri, as we've just spoken. And the battle's about to heat up once more after a bit of a lull in the action due to the oncoming collision at Rivasa.
Yep.
Oh, ball's gone wide! And here comes a move from Jax, but he just can't find a place to put the car. If you go for a gap, if you don't go for a gap that's there, you're not a racing driver. He went for the gap as much as he could, so he's still a racing driver, but he couldn't make the move.
Was it? Yeah, what was it? What was I gonna say? As you see, the guys on 18 laps, I have a feeling they might puncture Logan.
Oh no, don't even ask me about that. I just... because I've got it on penalties right now. Now I've got it on the tyres once again, and look at this Surface right behind, next to Lynx, making the move into the second to last corner, and that is going to be for podium position. And now he's got to try and chase Jensen and Tom, who are, as you said, they could be on the brink of puncture territory. I'm not quite sure about that. I thought the Inters would survive the whole race. It all depends really on how much they push these tyres. Jensen got a few fans in the chat, as you might see, if you have the chat on, that is. Meanwhile, Jax close to Bolin again, but no move coming out of that battle. They've got to keep it together, though. If they want to make a move, they've got to keep their enemies close. The only way you're going to get past your rivals, as now Surface is running away. Surface is running away with it. 12 laps, superior to the others, 19. Now he's going to try and chase down the Aston Martins for possibly second, but I'm going to be honest here, I don't think there's enough time.
No, unless one of them make a mistake, it's a 1-2 for the Aston Martin boys.
Or a safety car, and there still could be one, but, you know, let's not think of that too much, as Jax is right behind Bolin, but he makes a little mistake out of that Minerali. So it doesn't think like he's going to make a move yet, but if he keeps it together, maybe you have a shot. And he's had a lovely exit out of Variety Auto, I tell you. He's going to be running down Bolin's wing mirrors, and that's not what Bolin wants at all. Because look, he doesn't have much energy, but then again, neither does Bolin. Maybe Bolin by a few seconds, and Jax has went wide, so he's going to get a penalty again. So they come down the straight once more. What is this going to be like now? It doesn't look like he's getting even close, Jax is, to Bolin. By the looks of these, I know it's my perspective of speed, but there you go. It's still 4 attempts. It's not going Jack's way, and time is running out. He's got 5 laps to try and make the move for 7th, and maybe for 6th.
I feel like it's too late for punctures, but like 20 laps. They are looking like they're dry tires now.
Oh,
at this stage, it feels like them probably for the leaders.
And by going over the curb, it's not helping them at all. They are looking flatter and flatter. I'm not sure what the limit is gonna get hit, but it is still an Aston Martin 1-2 for now. The other 2 drivers are Lynx and Betisai on 20 lap intermediates. Now it's going to be 21 as they come across the line once more.
Yep. Olin just can't get close enough to Santelli. If he gets close enough, we could see a repeat of that battle, but hopefully no incident.
If you remember from PCF1, Nicholas Longay got from 3rd to 1st after a massive battle with Shanaka Clay in a freeway down to Tamburello. It was absolute chaos, but he got the move done and won the race as a result. It was on the last lap, and it was the perfect time to execute that incredible move. But yes, free wide is possible here, but you've got to be brave and bold. But don't be too bonkers, or that will probably be disaster as Betisai.
Trust in the driver beside you.
Yes. Jack's still 4 attempts behind. Not many other close battles happening on, so we might as well just keep the tabs of this battle. As you can see, Ball in there, as you can just barely see Santeri in front and Jack's behind. But looks like Jack's getting close again. In my opinion, if Jax is going to get anywhere near... Oh, he might actually! He might, but no, he taps Ballin and Ballin gets away with that one. But I was going to say, if he conserves his energy more, as you can see, he's running out. He's down to 5% now. If he conserves his energy, he may have a chance as we start the first of the final 3 laps. It is still an Aston Martin walkover as we speak, but Jack's now trying to make a move for 7th place, but he's not close enough. He is not close enough, and he's not going to try and get even an opportunity to make the move. He's stuck in the middle with Ballin. It's not what he wanted at all. Meanwhile, the gap is going down between Jensen and Tom, but I don't think there's much to worry about that. I think Jensen's just taking it careful. Of course, you want to do that while you're 3 seconds ahead. With your teammate behind you, I don't think you should be worrying about losing this race. Just bring it home, lad. Bring it home. And the 25 points will be yours, and possibly the championship lead. Definitely the championship lead. He finished 2nd place last week to Santeri, who is down in 6th. Not where you want to be. Meanwhile, Jax is right behind Ballin now. Coming out of Aquaman Alley. Bit of a slide from the pair. Is there going to be a move in the variante alter? This is what happened last time, but he thinks better of it and doesn't do what happened last time. I think it was the other way around. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Santeri who went.
Yeah, it was Santeri and Ballin. But Jax now very close. And guess what? Ballin is not only close to Santeri, but Betisai as well. Betisai is struggling.
Yeah. We could see Santeri. Well, Santeri will jump up to P5 anyway for the penalties.
Oh yes, of course.
But
because
Smalley's going to jump up a lot as well.
Yeah, Smalley, he's done pretty well, I have to say. Down in 10th, yes, but you know, he's kept his car on the track. Not much drama from him, to be fair. You know, yeah, he's 2.5 seconds behind Fleddy and 2.5 seconds ahead of Dan. And Jack's up close to Ballin at Tulsa once again. But it doesn't look like he's getting opportunities. He's got 2 laps to make it work. Jensen's are 26%. Yeah, the Inters are fantastic around here, if you've not heard. So I think they'll be fine. Bar any inconveniences. But meanwhile, oh, it's getting a bit scrappy here. Ballin lost time there at Criminal Rally, as the Aston Martin boys have started their final lap. Shazoo, I should say, as well. Jensen and Tom, an absolute masterclass here. Jensen's been first. Well, it's just first. That's all he's been today. He's been a winning machine.
Yeah. Obviously, for that, the folks are going to be happy. At least a 4th place for them, at least. That's good for them. Jacopo's not going to be happy, obviously not going to have a points finish at AlphaTauri or his own home race, but obviously he's got a whole another season, a whole rest of the season to, you know, win, or even get more points this season. So, just one race, you never know. He could have an amazing season, you know, win the championship.
Yes, indeed.
But it'd be so sad for Jensen to maybe get a penalty on this final corner or something.
Oh, I don't think he'll be worrying about that. Tom would probably just give up a few seconds so that Jensen can finish in first. I don't think he's on any warnings because, of course, you don't see the warnings here. But I think he'll be okay. All he's got to do is just pretty much keep it clean. Yeah, he's playing it safe on these corners. He doesn't want to make any schoolboy mistakes, and here he comes, Jensen, a clear victor here at Imola, and just behind him will be Tom. It's an Aston Martin 1-2 here at Imola, and Surface just coming around and finishing in 3rd. Job well done from him, and he will cross the line. Lynx will be finishing in 4th. Now, the penalties is Jax has got another penalty. Look at them all coming to the line now. Who is going to be in 5th downwards? As Jax tried to make a move, it's Santeri that gets it. Jax trying to make the move on Ballin, but too late, and he actually loses a few more. 8 for Smalley, that ain't bad. And I think that is the top 10. Yes, Jax finishing with just the 1 point. Not a good day for the McLaren driver. So that's your lot. It's an Aston Martin masterclass.
Yeah, obviously Jensen winning from pole position, making that idea of pitting under the safety car fenders, making it work as well. So for still a great recovery drive after pitting after a long time, I feel like if it was 100% race, I feel like Surface maybe would have the chance of getting him, but still a good result for the Aston Martin boys. I think they're both British as well, so it's a 1-2 for a British team and British drivers. So,
and Shazoo. Shazoo!
And yeah, great result. I'll leave you to say the results, Logan.
And your results are, I'd just like to mention, if Jensen got a penalty, then he would have lost by 9 thousandths, but that didn't happen, thankfully. Tom finishes in 2nd, Greek driver Surface finishes in 3rd, 14 seconds off the pace. Lynx 4th, Santeri in 5th. Unfortunately, that means he also loses his championship lead. He's now on 40 points compared to Jensen's 35 points compared to Jensen's 43. Better time 6, Ball in 7th, Smalley, Scotsman in 8th, Fleddy, the Dutchman in 9th, Jax in 10th. Not a good day for him, he couldn't make any ground up, and Rudy, it was just a nightmare for him today, alongside the other 4 that didn't score any points or failed to finish. Lineville actually had 4 pit stops. Santeri gets the fastest lap, but I do believe there is no fastest lap in WOR, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
Do we have interviews? Perhaps.
Well, it's up to you.
We'll just check. Of course I do interviews. I'll just have to check with the drivers. Do you have any questions for them? Don't say them, but I'm just asking yes or no.
Well, obviously. I know you will as well.
Because I struggle to have... I struggle to ask questions, in all honesty.
We need to ask the genetic questions. Just, you know, pretty much what the people in F1 ask.
I'm just asking for them interviews right now, so please bear with me. I'm going to switch to the showroom, or as I like to call it, Victory Lane, to show the winning car off. And I'm glad it's an Aston Martin. I just got up watching No Time to Die. I'm not going to say anything about it because that's against the rules of movie buff etiquette?
I have not watched it yet because
Good.
I've been revising for school, for exams.
I finished school like 5 years ago. I don't want to talk about school.
I've got 1 year left.
Brilliant. And there's the winning car. That's the wrong number. We know that Lance Stroll didn't win the race. Alright, I'm going to get the winner in. Just one moment, please. If we can get the party up. This is the moment where we play some elevator music, but we would get copyrighted. Darn copyright laws. I forgot to put the Shazoo tag in. Brilliant. Live TV, folks. It's not even TV. Anything can happen and everything can go wrong. That's why we're commentators. Also, big shout out to Jessica Ball on winning Overtake's Hero of the Month award. Love to see it. Of course, a very committed member in our community. She's been our coordinator in PSGL. No one deserves it more than her, so well done. For the Jessica down in Plymouth. The only other good guy from Plymouth, or guy or gal from Plymouth, is Pieface, yes. I knew you were going to say that, right? I'm going to watch his stream after this, I think. As we get the interviewees in. Alright, let's just wait for our winners with a grinner. Winners or grinners? And here's your winner! And his sidekick. Welcome, gentlemen. A routine victory. Well, I say routine. It looked like one because that was a fantastic race from you both. You were, I believe, 12 seconds clear of nearest rival Surface to pair for you. Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Oh.
Just a bit lucky on the strategy, really, but
Yeah,
you have to be there.
especially with the safety car, because it wasn't looking that bad when. Oh yes, you did pit for the this is before the safety car, so it didn't look like the best thing when it was just starting to rain. But then you realised, actually, hold on, they've got a pit as well, especially because with the safety car coming in, they were going to have a lot more time lost because the behind the safety car, of course, you had the advantage that they didn't, which was the speed being reduced. So all you had to do was just keep it together. You didn't look like you had a problem at all. Apparently your tyres were like 30% at the end of the race.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very low tire deg, luckily enough. But yeah. Oh, I had made many
Initially, it was
mistakes before.
scary.
Oh, of course it would be scary. It was just starting to rain, but at the same time, of course, you know, you've got all the soft runners going faster, and you've got to worry about them. And of course, you know, there's not much grip on those inters when it's not wet.
Yeah. Go on, Jensen.
Well, I mean, if you look at it this way, I've made many mistakes in the past where I've like stayed out on the dries on like a damping track, and in the end I always made the wrong call. And to be fair, weakness on this game are probably not. I'm not the best at judging how hard the rain, but the weather's coming down or how much it's drying up. So I usually rely on you have to do that. But looking at the pit lane, like and also felt it like on the in lap for when I pitted for the inters, it was starting to pick up quite a bit. And in the end, of course, you saw it was the right call as we won by like over 18 seconds to the guys who did pit. So yeah, just goes to show there. And probably the best strategy call I've ever made in my life. So
Yeah, the strategy worked a dream. I've never seen someone run far away in top tier racing. I have to say, it was just. It was a move that Daniel Craig would definitely be proud of. I have to say. No time to die spoilers, please.
okay.
We don't want to ruin it for anyone who hasn't watched it, including my fellow commentator Tech31, who's standing in for Quinn. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. He was working, but of course, work is more important than things like this. Except if it is our work. But I don't get paid for doing this. I do not wish to get paid. I don't think we have Surface in here, but
No.
Tom, did you have your say in the race? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's a bit boring, to be fair, after we pitted for the Inters.
I know, you were 12 seconds ahead of Surface. It was just... but then again, the only way it could have changed the race was if Jensen got a penalty. Tom would have won by 9 thousandths. Yeah, if you got a 3-second penalty, Tom would have won by 9 thousandths, Jensen. So
I don't think I picked up a warning that race, no. So
you could have still cut the
luckily I
corner
was far away from, but yeah.
for fun, but no, of course you wouldn't do that. You kept it clean throughout, and it looks like that there's going to be a bit of a party tonight, I bet, with not just the win, the championship lead as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to enjoy that one. I mean, it came, to be fair, after last season I lost probably 2 wins at Jeddah to Sam Corby on the line, and I think Brazil to like an early spin where I think I had the pace. I won on track there, but yeah, the wins finally came at least. Of course, the championship leads a nice icing on the cake for it. But yeah, looking towards the rest of the season, hopefully keep the results up.
Yeah, I missed that Jeddah race, unfortunately. I think it was my birthday that weekend, so I was away for the night. I can't mention anything other than that, though, because I'd rather keep my personal life separate from life like this. But yes, I do remember watching that when I got around to it. It was a crazy one, but then again, it is Jeddah. I do not believe... Are we going to Jeddah this season? Yes, we are, around 12. Because it wasn't on last season, it was Abu Dhabi for some of the drivers, but you chose to race Jeddah instead, so it is definitely in the calendar now. It's also on the PSGL calendar, and we'll be going to that in, I think it's round 7, but yes, lovely night for Aston Martin, wouldn't you say, Tech? You got any questions?
Well, yeah. Next round, I think it's Russia.
It is Russia, yes. It'll be the Sochi Autodrome, sadly.
For both of you, is it a strong circuit for you, or do you not like it, or is it just a neutral?
Russia could just go and like...
Don't say it. We are on TV. Children are watching.
I remember last time me and Jensen did Russia together. I ended up ahead, so it's clearly a bad track for Jensen. If I'm beating him.
Russia could just jog, man. Like, people who like Russia, they've got to cop on with that, man. It's
Russia,
like,
because it is flat. It is flat as anything. I can't wait to go to Agora next year. Or in terms of this game, 2 years, because it's released in July.
Yeah, we'll never see them tracks.
I hope we do. Because it will be a lot of fun. But that's for another day.
Just be more crashing.
Yeah, but that's for another day. It's like Portimao, but it's made by the East. So I was gonna put there's a Soviet joke in there, but of course we can't mention them there. It's just Russia. But yes, Russia is next week. Sochi Autodrome, the home of what's happening right now in Beijing, the Winter Olympics in 2014. Of course, we don't have Beijing in Formula 1. We have Shanghai, the more preferred of the 2 Chinese cities, in my opinion. Even though we do have Zhuhai, but yes, it will be Russia, and then it will be the Netherlands after that. and then we'll talk about the rest of the schedule for a later date. I think that's going to do it for tonight. Well done, Aston Martin boys. You deserved that one too. Please celebrate responsibly. Celebrate responsibly, or else you'll be done for drink driving.
Cheers.
And you can't get done for that in WOR, by the way. I think. I'll have to check with Luke, but I think you probably would get in trouble. But let's not worry about it. Enjoy the night. Enjoy a victory.
See you later.
See you later.
See ya.
Have a good night, lads. Well done.
And that is going to do it. Unfortunately, no Surface tonight. He's probably still far away trying to get into the commentary box because he did finish about 13 seconds behind. No, just kidding. He doesn't want to do an interview, apparently.
He's probably gone downstairs to have a little drink.
Or dinner, because it's probably... Or bed, maybe, is about, I think, 10:30 down in Greece, so... Probably be best leave him be. But that will do it for the stream. Thank you for joining Tech for tonight in place of Quinn. Hopefully Quinn's back next week. We will see you next week for the third round of the 15 I should say. And it will be in Sochi Autodrome, as you just said. And for probably one of its last few appearances, because of course it will be phased out of the game in 2023 with Agora Drive coming in. So, I'm not sure how it's going to go down, because sometimes the races are interesting, unlike real life, because there's no systematic edge like in the real F1.
Yeah.
So, any final words?
If some of the drivers are watching, good luck for next week. Have fun. Thank you for having me, Logan.
No problem.
Hopefully maybe sometime we can do it in the future. But yeah, it's nice having me. I'll see you all not hopefully next week, because Quinn hopefully will be back.
That's sad. Well, anyway, yes.
Hopefully Quinn's back.
Yeah, of course. We hope Quinn's back, because
but I will be there just in case.
Yeah, of course. Always on standby when need be. I thank you all for watching. I will see you next week. I will definitely be here for sure, unless an emergency happens. And we will see you for Sochi Autodrome. Thank you very much, and good night.